right, so welcome everyone. This is my first official live stream, and I guess we're gonna make a lot of mistakes, and I'm loving it. Let's see. So one of the things that I wanted to do is talk about natural disasters and really just make sure that we're aware of certain aspects of natural disasters, to make sure that we have some kind of knowledge with it as well, obviously, and then I can walk you all through, answer any questions. We are only here to talk about the recent dangerous fires that spiked up in California. So let's see. I'm gonna open a little chat so I can see what everybody's doing. So hello, and we're gonna try to keep it very, very responsible. And here we go. So as you can tell, we actually had a mosquito fire up by Lake Tahoe, and bear with me here. I need to pop this chat open so I can see what are you guys talking about. Alright, so we had a mosquito fire incident. It started on the 6th at 6 p.m. and it's near Oxbow Reservoir, East Forest Hill in Placer County. So we'll go through the maps. Cal Fire, by the way, if you didn't know, it has a lot of updated information and a lot of really good stuff to know about any type of incidents. Actually, let's walk you through the Cal Fire website really fast. Alright, let me make myself a little smaller. There you go. Alright, so Cal Fire, the website itself, so you can learn about us, different careers, because they've been a major great thing around here in California, especially with the fire response. And a lot of the fire response training is actually used in a lot of other countries and a lot of states. They have a really good model for the fire response. Let's see. So when the 2020 Australia wildfires hit, we had some of the Cal Fire personnel actually go to the Australia wildfires as well. So you can go to the incident map and details, and right now we're talking about Mosquito Fire, but there's another fire that it's growing fairly rapid. It's only 5% contained. It's Fairview Fire by LA. Let's see this. Yeah, so I am, just bear with me here. I need to see where did it go? Well, that's great. So I don't know where my chat went. There it is. So OBS is a pretty complicated tool for now, but I will get to it. Aha! Welcome everyone, welcome. Okay, so let's talk about Mosquito Fire. As you can tell, so this is the map of California right here. And this is a Tahoe National Forest around this area. And this is Lake Tahoe right here. Truckee is right over here, and this is growing Mosquito Fire. There are quite a few evacuations that we're gonna go through as of right now. So it is 0% contained, and it's 6,807. Alright, so we're not going to be talking about anything else, any other drama that is happening on YouTube. So let's take a look at some details. Okay, so you can read some status updates. So today the Mosquito Fire showed extreme fire behavior and growth due to high temperatures that we have in California. And basically it's quadrupling in size, over 4,000 acres, and assigned personnel continue to improve existing control line and build new control lines. We have the weather in the fire area will continue to be extremely hot and dry overnight, which is not good whatsoever. And it's gonna go into tomorrow, so they might pick up some winds, and winds tend to spread the wildfires a lot faster. Let's see, so Evacuation Zone Map. Let's check this out. So this is your Evacuation Zone Map that is happening here. So we have, there are quite few, so one of the things about this fire, because it's part of the National Forest, so you have Cal Fire, and the National Forest personnel are on the lines as well, and we can go over who's actually on that site. So these are the evacuation zones. As you can tell, there's a Lake Tahoe over here, and then these are the possibility of spreading the fire if it does goes further. Let's see. It is not bigger fire than usual, and hopefully it's not going to grow further. But it is 0% contained. Sometimes they have to, certain areas that are non-residential areas, they would let it burn to clear out the brush, because all they're doing is so this is the fire in purple right now, and all they're doing right now is trying to maintain from spreading it. Sometimes during the fires they cannot reach certain areas, so they will use either helicopters, and they will use the airplanes as well to dump the retardant onto the fires to suppress it. So as you can tell, the evacuation zones, there are some residential areas, might be around here. I'm not exactly sure if they're actually houses, but there are quite a few towns right here: Metal Vista, and Forest Hill. So there are possibility of certain houses over there. And let's see. So we're gonna do, so this is one of the reasons we had excessive heat warning during these wildfires, and the current incidents. Obviously we have mosquito fire, so they're trying to push out as much information to the public as they can, so that way they are more aware of what is going on the ground. So if you are around there, I would highly recommend to go to the CAL FIRE website and check out their evacuation zones. If you're, I'm not fairly near there, but I do have friends that are on standby for the evacuation orders. I would highly recommend of checking out the map and see if you're not in any danger. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to do something different over here and actually spread awareness of the different disasters. So know wherefore evacuated animals have been called into the house to do animal evacuation here. Oh no, I'm so sorry. This is terrible. I assisted somebody before with evacuating them and fostering them in my home, but luckily nothing happened at the time. I also responded to quite a few fires myself. Thank you, thank you. Oh, I hope they're safe, Amber. I really hope they're safe. It is absolutely terrible, but I highly, highly, highly recommend to go check out the evacuation orders. So these are the evacuation orders that we have for Placer County. And then Zone 1, Michigan Bluff, and everything else. So I'm not gonna go into the details exactly these roads, where the roads are, because there is, let's see. Okay, so this is Placer County information, if they have anything. Okay, so there's an evacuation warning in the area of Stumpy Meadows. Let's see what they have in here. So this is the El Dorado County, and then they're talking about evacuation orders as well. We can check out some of the news segments, and then we can go take a look at other Twitter accounts and everything, all the information that they've been putting out. It's one thing I really love about CAL FIRE, as I mentioned before. They want to make sure that people are aware of everything that's going on. So let's check out some news segments I have in here. Let's see, Sacramento Bee. Oh, this one right here. So this is from New York Times. So this is the plume. Oops. We're gonna delete that. Let's go into another browser really fast. Okay. Hold on, just bear with me here. Okay. So this picture, this is what the Mosquito Fire looks like, and it has a really large smoke plume. So we'll check out in a little bit the EQI, which is air quality. It's air quality where the area is at, and because during these large fires, because you don't want, this is a high inhalation hazard, and you do not want to have anything to do with this, because it has plastic, it has, if the houses are burning, if the cars are burning, so it's got mixture with fuel, it has mixture with wood, and a lot of people, a few years back we had really large fires up north, and a lot of that smoke was so large that actually pushed all the way to San Francisco, and then to Nevada, and to other places and it was pretty large inhalation hazard. Let's see if we can find a video. Let's see. Let's do this. KCRA. I like KCRA. They're great. They've been absolutely wonderful.
Just take it slow. Slow.
Commercial break. And of course we're gonna click on the commercial. That's how it all happens, right? No, play for me. Reload.
Just take it slow.
Okay, so we'll just watch a commercial for a little bit. I'm not endorsed by
And
these
we'll check
people.
them both for free.
Yes.
Fix Finder, the most complete free warning light report backed by
Yeah, I
technician
heard about the
verified
Canadian
fixes.
fires.
We're following a wildfire in Placer County. It's picked back up again. It's growing, and it's now crossed into El Dorado County. It continues to force evacuations in both counties right now. Some homes have already been destroyed. Smoke from the fire is drifting, and it is shifting, and it is causing bad air quality for miles and miles away.
On top of that, we've got the extreme heat, and that's straining the state's power grid. So far, we haven't faced rolling blackouts, but that doesn't mean today isn't any less important. Rolling outages are still very much a possibility, and right now you're being urged to conserve energy. We'll get to each of those stories one by one, but we want to start with the Mosquito Fire.
Yes, as we mentioned, it's now burning in Placer and El Dorado counties. The town of Georgetown is now under an evacuation warning, so that means that you should get ready to go.
The fire is burning near the Oxbow Reservoir. That's northeast of the Forest Hill area, and you can see where the fire is in relation to Forest Hill and Michigan Bluff. Placer County has declared a local emergency.
So we can show you what the fire looks like from Live Copter 3. This was during the noon hour, and look at how intense these flames are, even seeing rotation in the flames as they burn. And this was even too hot for our Live Copter crew to fly right now, but we wanted to show you what it looked like several hours ago. It's a view you'll only get to see on KCRA 3, and you can see the flames tearing through the trees. As of the very latest update, CAL FIRE says the fires burned more than 8,200 acres now, and there are no full containment around the fire. So 0% containment, and you can see how rough the terrain is.
Crews are hitting this fire with crews in the air, and this is video from Live Copter 3. You can see several water drops by CAL FIRE helicopters trying to put out those flames. At the same time, there are crews hard at work on the ground. You can see here the dozers clearing trees and brush. Crews say right now they are working to build control lines, and firefighters are also working to protect homes and buildings in the area.
We want to show you the evacuation map for Placer County right now. The purple area that you see right in the middle, that's where the fire is burning. Now the red area, that's where there is an evacuation order. That means you need to move right now and leave. They were just extended in the last 15 minutes to now include Todd Valley. They also include Michigan Bluff, Baker Ranch, and Forest Hill. Now the yellow area shows where there is an evacuation warning. That means you need to get ready to go. That's on the south end. It stretches down to the south side of Lake Clementine on the northeastern part of the fire as it extends into the Kings Hill area and up to the Sugar Pine Reservoir. Now we want to show you El Dorado County because the fire has crossed over there. All of the area in red is under an evacuation order. That includes Volcanoville, Quintet, and stretches down just shy of Stumpy Meadows Lake. These orders do not include Georgetown yet, but there is an evacuation warning in effect for Georgetown. That's the area you see in yellow. We have live team coverage for you, including the effort to control the flames, the conditions that crews are dealing with while they're out there on the ground and in the air.
And we want to start with KCRA 3's Lizzie Mitri live near Michigan Bluff. Lizzie, what are you seeing? I can see that smoke just lingering in the background there.
Right, Andrea, we're on Chicken Hawk Road. We have El Dorado Creek east of us, and then south of us is where you're seeing all that smoke in the direction of Michigan Bluff. And you're seeing two things there. The biggest cloud of smoke there, the dark kind of orangey tint cloud, that's coming from the main part of the fire. And then closer to us, there's more of a white cloud of smoke that you can see low in the trees closer to where we are. And that's from the back burning. That appears to be the work of firefighters. They've been doing tons of back burning starting last night, trying to get rid of any fuels over here to keep the fire from coming up the hillside. We also want to show you what else we saw earlier in the afternoon behind the fire lines today. Firefighters faced another.
So yes, we're gonna right after watching this video, we'll actually gonna try to find out about the animals, if they're taking into any sheltering or any places where, because some places for the evacuation places, they not allow animals. It's either service animals or, well, service animals can go anywhere, but let's hopefully we'll be able to find something. Let's keep watching this video.
Day of tough conditions with steep terrain and hot and dry weather. As the Mosquito Fire burned in Placer County near Forest Hill. Crews tried to get ahead of it to create fire breaks with bulldozers and backfiring operations. South of Chicken Hawk Road, firefighters are burning off the dry brush and grass in this area so that if the fire does push up this way, it won't have as much fuel to feed off of. Fire already destroyed some homes in Michigan Bluff after tearing through that area yesterday. This was the scene there at about 2:30 on Michigan Bluff Road near High Street, and this is what it looked like in that same spot 4 hours later. CAL FIRE says inspection teams are still working to assess the damage. The fire is putting off a ton of smoke, as you can see right now here today. No official count yet on how many structures were damaged in the Mosquito Fire. We're still waiting on CAL FIRE inspection teams to assess that. In driving through this afternoon, we were able to see at least 5 homes as of now. Live in Placer County, Lizzie Mitri, KCRA 3 News.
All right, Lizzie, thank you so much for that closer look.
And we continue our team coverage now with you.
So, looks like I lost the chat in OBS. We can try to regain that later, but I'll just jump on YouTube so that way we can continue on with the coverage. Let's see really fast. Okay. Okay, I can see the chat now. Please be respectful in the chat, and you're so far, I don't have any mods, and so just no harassing, nothing in the chat, and keep the audience alive, please. Let's see, because I do not tolerate any kind of harassment, any kind of bullying in the chat or anywhere else. Okay. So let's see what we can find about the animal evacuation shelters in that area. That would be Mosquito Fire. Shelters. Okay. Let's see, Mosquito Animal Services. So, let's see, Mosquito Fire information. El Dorado County Animal Services offices in both Diamond Springs and South Lake Tahoe will continue to be closed. So these are the closed ones. And large animal shelter update for evacuated homes only. Has been activated the large animal shelter until 8 p.m. tonight and starting 7 a.m. tomorrow. So it says no birds, chickens are allowed due to avian flu. So the shelter is located right here if you are in the area. Let's see. Okay. Let's see what else we can find. Okay, so information. The County Emergency Operations Center has been activated by the Sheriff's Office, enabling the government agencies to work together. So there are multiple agencies on the site. Yeah, if you can block people yourselves, please, because I don't have any mods and that's why I never put up any notification. Oh, hi Sue, number 45 here. She's my 45th subscriber to the channel. So I don't have any mods, and another reason why I didn't put up a notification, because I didn't want the chat go crazy. If the chat is gonna get out of hand, I will stop this and try to find some mods at the later time. Okay. So who are we blocking? Okay. So let's see this. Okay, so this is the fire again, right over here. If you can tell, this purple area, and there are zones of evacuation, and there are possibility zones. So the red zone is 100% evacuation. The yellow zone will be on standby. And let's see, Cal Fire. I'm gonna go back to the Cal Fire Twitter in a minute. And at a later time, we can actually talk about the preparedness tips and what you can do during the fire evacuations. Okay, so we have emergency alerts. Okay, so this basically goes over to make sure you are registered for the emergency alerts, because we have notification system that will send out notifications of the different evacuation zones in the area. I don't have a really set schedule right now, and I can make your mod at moderator. Sue, my number 45, congratulations, you're my first moderator. Okay, anybody else wants to keep this chat nice and easygoing? Because we're actually talking about this very serious topic over here. Let's see. Number 45 is forever. Of course, Sue. You're. Let's see, Tatosha is gonna be my moderator number 2. Thank you so much for volunteering. Okay, so Cal Fire. Let's see what they have. Okay, Nevada Yuba Placer Unit. This is the town hall. Town hall is scheduled. Okay, so they already had the town hall. Oh, they are live. They're live right now. So let's see what they have to answer. And there is no sound.
I'm going to give you a general orientation. I know it's a little difficult to see in the pixels, but essentially this is the North Fork of the American right in here. Forest Hill Road sits basically right up in here. That top section right there is the area I was talking about that's approaching Forest Hill Road, really kind of parallel. So Todd Valley is sitting down in here. Michigan Bluff is like right up in there. Baker Ranch is right up on the tip of that. So, you know, the yellow is all mandatory. The purple is warning, correct, Shane? I got my terms wrong. Orders and warnings. Yellow's orders, purple is a warning. And then this is Interstate 80. So kind of to put it into context about Colfax and Weimar, you know, a fair distance away.
And sir, I'll get with you afterwards and we can zoom in on a map that I have and answer any specific detailed questions you may have. I'm not seeing any other questions. Are we? Absolutely.
Okay.
It's for them. It's a question that since this is streaming, we have a lot of kids that are going to be missing school, high school, and so I'm just curious if that's being talked about or if it's something that the boosters can help out with. Please contact us.
We'll try to figure out what was the start of the Mosquito Fire, if they are still aware of it. Usually the investigation takes part at a later time. Okay, so PG&E says...
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't sure if that question got answered, but I think we're good. Okay, perfect. Hey.
Okay, not sure what questions they're asking. So this guy looks like he's from
Yeah, you're absolutely
Sacramento
right. And for them to
Office
endure
of
these types of
Emergency
things, compounded by
Management.
what we've had to endure over the past couple of years, it's important. And I think it speaks to the importance that we take of including the schools having here. I mean, really, you're looking at the broad team. You've got functional areas from all across the county, our water agency, all the way out to our schools, our OES, and all in support of our public safety, led by fire, and primarily supported by PD. I just want to take a real moment to say thank you very much for asking all your questions. They were excellent questions. The candidness and vulnerability that our leaders put ourselves up here to answer those questions, and how detailed a lot of the tactics that they were able to go into, I think it really speaks to how...
Alright, so they're just answering questions. I want to get to the point where they actually, since they're started an hour and 14 minutes ago, I want to get to actually briefing, because so far the rumors going on, there was a PG&E spark. PG&E is our local electric company around in Northern California, and they have been blamed for starting a lot of fires because some of their outdated equipment. Let's see if we can find the actual update, because okay, thank you, Sudine, for timing out. Alright, so let's see if we can find the beginning of it.
From our water authority. So starting off, we're going to hear from our county supervisor. Ma'am?
Thank you, and thank you all for being here tonight. I wanted to speak on behalf of the full Board of Supervisors. I'm Cindy Gustafson. I'm the 5th District Supervisor. I represent many of you, but all of this, unfortunately, we have been through this before. I wanted to make sure
Okay.
Progressing to the west.
There you go. This is what I wanted to see.
Superintendent of the American River Hotshots and performing
Let me
Deputy
know
Operations Section
if
Chief.
the sound is good. I
To
wanted
give you
to
a
see
live
the
fire
brief.
update this evening, our perimeter was mapped at 13,705 acres. The fire made about a 5,000 acre run today to the south and into El Dorado County. Starting in the Forest Hill area, as you can see, we have had some fire growth today. Progressing to the west, we have a very large amount of resources in there going direct on the fire and providing structure protection and mitigation measures all the way around the town of Forest Hill. They'll be there 24 hours a day until we feel that is secure again. But it is getting closer to some structures. I just want to let you know that we do have an immense amount of resources in there to protect all of the structures in there. Coming around to the north today, the fire did not push as far to the north as we saw yesterday. It is running up towards the seed orchard at the top of Forest Hill.
Oops.
Back into the federal
Apologies.
EPA, and coming around to the east side. That fire was our third priority part of the fire today, and just made some limited growth, not substantial as compared to yesterday. The big push today was coming out of Oxbow Reservoir, where the fire spotted across to the river into El Dorado County, and like I said, made about a 5,000 acre run in the matter of 2 to 3 hours up into the vicinity of Volcanoville and continued pushing south. As of right now, we are not getting outflanked on the south side. We still have stronghold on Forest Hill, and we do have
Outflanked, he means that
containment
fire's
lines
taken
almost
over
complete down to the American River.
where the
At that point, they are
firefighters.
indirect, but they are going in right now, and we are feeling a little bit proud of the progress we have made today in Forest Hill. At that point, that's the end of the operational update.
Yes, PG&E has been charged
Thank you.
before
Now
for
we'll
the
hear an
fires.
update down on the El Dorado County side.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Mike Blankenheim, and I'm the unit chief for the CAL FIRE Amador El Dorado unit. And for this incident, I'm also one of the CAL FIRE agency administrators for this. So I'll just add a little more detail to the El Dorado County side operational briefing. So, like you said, it came across the river today right around before noontime, somewhere in that neighborhood. Every bit of 5,000 acres. That number
So
might
that
be a
means
little
that
bit
the
outdated.
fire
It
already
may be a little
jumped
bit more
into
than that
the
at
El
this point in
Dorado
time.
side,
But it did cross
where
right
the
underneath the community of
houses and
Volcanoville, made a hard
community.
uphill run into the community of Volcanoville, and then got up into the wind and started moving east again. So as it stands right now, Volcanoville has definitely been impacted. We did have some structures destroyed in there for sure. I don't have a good handle on how many as of just yet, but it is definitely not the whole community by any stretch. So the fire is pushing pretty hard right now. East up the Rubicon drainage and up the American River drainage up towards Stumpy Meadows, and eventually we'll probably end up where the King Fire burned through there 7 or 8 years ago. So that's current right now for El Dorado County.
So one of the
Thank you.
reasons he's saying hopefully it will jump into the area where it burnt already, because it doesn't have a thick dense brush, and it'll be easier to maintain it once it jumps to that area.
A lot of areas under evacuation. Next, we're going to move over to Placer County Sheriff, Under Sheriff Shane Wright, to give you a update on evacuations.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Shane Wright, Placer County Sheriff's Office. Just to give you guys a quick rundown on, I'll probably be up here a couple times, finish it with some question and answer. And then if you don't feel comfortable asking that question for everybody else, I'll be here all night until we get those questions answered. So I'll be around for that. Just to give you a quick orientation of the map that we're looking at here, obviously operations covered the
So I wanted to, I think I was speaking with my mic muted. I wanted to go back and mention something that he said. Hopefully it will jump into the area where the previous fire was a couple years ago, because it doesn't have a lot of brush, and it'll be easier to maintain that area during this time, and then that way they can suppress it. Let's start this again, because he's talking about evacuations right now.
Footprint of the fire. Over here you have Todd Valley and Forest Hill proper. The map is indicating evacuation orders in yellow, and the evacuation warnings in purple. I know some common questions that commonly come up. One of them is what are we doing for those that have been displaced and out of their home and cannot return? So currently, with the help of CHP and the rest of our Placer law enforcement agency partners, as well as regional mutual aid from our friends down at Sacramento County Sheriff's Office, we have no less operating anywhere from 50 to 100 law enforcement personnel operating right there in that evacuation order zone, and then venturing out in the warning area as well. So traffic control points are key. That's what gives us containment. And then we're also, especially during the midnight hours, doing roving patrols, making sure that nobody is in there that shouldn't be, and that no criminal acts are taking place. So a couple ways we do that is vehicles are...
So one of the reasons he's saying no criminal acts should take place during the evacuation, they have patrol cars around those neighborhoods, because there will be people coming back and try to loot empty homes, and that's why they're trying to, once the fire gets out bigger, that they require larger force. Sometimes they'll bring in National Guard to do checkpoints, make sure there are no looters are going into the evacuated areas. Let's see what else.
Commonly marked appropriately. If it doesn't belong there, we do a vehicle stop. We're constantly checking houses. anything suspicious, they're in there working on it. The second thing I want to talk about is, and it's a common question that comes up right now, is when can we go back home? I can assure you, and I don't know the timeline on that, I'd be lying if I did, but what I can tell you is that when the first evacuation order goes out, we're already meeting, we're already planning, and looking at a safe repopulation. So in an event this size, the worst thing we can do is repopulate and then evacuate again, or even worse, somebody gets hurt or killed in the process. With that, like I said, I'll be around for the closing and the question and answer, and I'll turn it back over.
Thank you. Next, we're going to hear from our Placer County Office of Emergency Services Chief. He's going to give you an update on some of those sheltering operations.
Okay. So they
Thank
might
you.
brush it up on animal sheltering as well.
Thanks to the strong cooperation of several of our partners, including the Red Cross, the Bell Road Baptist Church, and then of course the Auburn Recreation District, we have a couple of options for those who need sheltering or need some services. So the first is, if you need a place to stay overnight, we have a Red Cross shelter open at the Bell Road Baptist Church, 707 Bell Road, right here in Auburn. The second option is, if you have a trailer or an RV, but you need a place to grab a shower or just get out of the heat and need to get some air conditioning, we have a temporary evacuation point open at the Auburn Recreational Park Gym, 3770 Richardson Drive. They have bathrooms and showers. And then, of course, lastly, many of us have pets and other animals, and we want to make sure that they're safe as well. We have been working with our partners up in Nevada County. They have been providing some great support for us, and animals, large and small, can go to the Nevada County Fairgrounds. That's for drop-off only. That's not a shelter location. It's just a safe place for your animals to stay and be cared for while you're evacuated. And that is 11228 McCourtney Road, again, and that's in Grass Valley. I just want to thank again to our partners at Health and Human Services and all of our other cooperating agencies, including the Placer County Food Bank, who's been also providing some food for the folks who've been in the shelter.
Thank you, Chief. Next, we're going to hear from our Deputy Superintendent for an update on schools.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Jeffrey Tooker. I'm the Deputy Superintendent of the Placer Union High School District. So that's Forest Hill High School, here Placer, Del Oro, Colfax, and some of our other alternative ed programs. What we've done really within 24 hours is we're setting up a school for our Forest Hill students, Forest Hill High School students here at Placer High School. If you notice, we have a beautiful new building on the lower campus, thanks to the support of this community, and upstairs is the Learning Commons, our contemporary library. Downstairs is the cafeteria, and it's a perfect setup for any students who wish to see their classmates, their principal. We do have their principal and assistant principal here this evening, actually, and we'll be around to answer questions when we're done, and mental health specialists. But we wanted to provide a place for kids to come, if they could get here, for support, relationships, mental health, food, the 2 free meals a day, air conditioning, etc. So we'll be running that starting tomorrow. It's not mandatory nor expected, but it's an option. We expect that to grow over time as more people know. And as you may know, unfortunately during the pandemic, we became exceptionally good at online learning. And our teachers are excellent. We have a very, very committed staff at Forest Hill High School that if we have families, if we have kids who are out of the area, they've got their Chromebooks or their devices, and once we get all the technology dialed in, that they can synchronously and asynchronously join their class and their teachers and keep education going, but also to keep the relationships going and check in on each other. I can't officially speak for the elementary school. We have been in contact with their superintendent and have offered partnership. We partner with all of our elementary schools, so we've offered partnership with her, so we are working on some plans to support her.
Okay, so they were mentioning earlier, let's see, they were mentioning earlier about the Mosquito Fire actually jumping. So this is from San Francisco Chronicle. It came out, we'll update it at 7:57. So it jumped into El Dorado County and then started burning homes there. So let's scroll through some of these devastating pictures. Trigger warning for somebody. If you have been through all of this, I am truly sorry. And then hopefully you're able to heal from that. Let's see. So these are the airplanes that they use, and this is the retardant. Okay. Is somebody putting up my life? Somebody's live streaming me right now. I would highly disencourage you to do that. Okay, so yes, please keep the chat relevant to the topic. Okay, so these planes, they're amazing because when they take off, they can actually dip down and get on the lower ground. So this is retardant. It's for fire suppression, and basically, if it ever gets on your car, it will damage a lot of paint on your car. So, but it helps with suppressing fire. Or sometimes they will dump the retardant into the lines where the fire might be going, so that way it doesn't jump on the other side. Okay, so let's check out another picture. Let's see. Okay. So, yeah. I think I saw a video earlier today of an actual smoke plume. Okay, so who else wanted to be mod? Nova? Let's see. Alright. So far, so good. I think we are covering this pretty good. Okay, so let's move on. Yeah, unfortunate. These are the type of pictures that you tend to see a lot with the wildfires, especially when they're ravaging through the homes and through the areas. And the fires are so hot that will melt the cars, and it happens very, very fast. Okay, let's see. I saw a video earlier that actually has a mosquito fire plume, as to put it how massive it really is. Plume, I mean by smoke that is rising up. It's plume, and it moves with the wind direction. Okay, let's see if we can find that video. Earl Sacramento Beam. There it is. Yeah, it's that's pretty devastating. Okay. Oh, where's the sound? We need sound. And there's advertisement, and I'm about to blow people's ears off over here. Okay, so before we move on into this video, we are talking about Mosquito Fire that is by Lake Tahoe as of right now, and it's spreading. Let's see, let's go back really fast right over here. So it's spreading. So this is Tahoe area right here, and Mosquito Fire is indicated in the purple, and everything else is evacuation zones, and it's spreading very, very quickly with the heat that we had and everything we had over here. So let's watch this video really
The
fast.
Mosquito Fire is 948 acres. It's burning in the North Fork of the Middle Fork drainage, burning up towards Forest Hill and towards the Michigan Bluff area. We have resources actively working from the Michigan Bluff area back down towards Mosquito Ridge Road. And we have resources all over, all throughout Forest Hill, and are actively doing everything we can do to contain the fire.
Currently we do have some evacuation orders, mandatory evacuations and evacuation warnings out. Currently in the Baker Ranch area has been evacuated as far as being under a mandatory evacuation. We do have some hard closures. We have one at Michigan Bluff and Forest Hill. We also have one at Chicken Hawk at Forest Hill Road. And then we also have Mosquito Ridge Road. All have hard closures. Okay, so I want to talk about the mandatory evacuation and also the evacuation warning zones. Currently the red part of our map is the mandatory evacuation. The fires down here south of the mandatory evacuation. Baker Ranch and also Michigan Bluff are under mandatory evacuation. We have obviously high concerns about downtown Forest Hill and also with Black Oak Ridge. Those are higher population areas. So we'll get that information out as soon as possible when it comes to turning into a mandatory evacuation.
Nice community of Forest Hill. You're here to work for these people, these citizens.
All right, so this is what the plume is looking like right about now. Well, right now it's dark, obviously. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. It triggers me itself because I have seen a lot of these fires firsthand, and I've seen a lot of devastation that was happening. Okay, slow down the chat. Let's see how I can slow down this chat. Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. No, this fire is not by me. We're not in immediate danger. But there are many people that okay, so I don't know, I'm still trying to figure this out, how to slow down this chat. I will watch some YouTube videos at a later time. Let's continue on so that way we don't sit in here with a dead silence. Okay. Let's see. We wanted to check out the Twitter page and see what they're doing. Okay. So far, they were having a Mosquito Fire Town Hall, and we just watched a couple of updates, and they'll do notifications. We will be following this fire as a let's follow this fire. I'm gonna follow them. Okay. Let's see what else they're saying on Facebook. So, in addition to emergency shelter at Bell Road Baptist Church, we have open temporary evacuation point for RV trailer car parking. Oh, that's nice. And then they will have bathroom and shower access, no hookups, sleeping spaces. Additional sheltering space is under development. Stay tuned on our incident page. This is great. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the resources like that, they've been activated for multiple fires, and it's becoming more of it's becoming more of a normal event. So these will be some type of sheltering. Okay, so there was a question if there are inmates are being used for these type of fires. Yes, we actually, I'm not sure about this one yet, but we actually, within state of California, there's different programs that they can go through, and they can qualify to actually be out there and dig the fire lines. Also, they will serve food at base camps for the first responders. Okay. Oh, great. My OBS is failing. Hey, you know, you live and learn. Live and learn. Okay. Live and learn. So let's do. Okay, so this is 4 hours ago. Let's see if there's anything more recent for videos. Oh, so these are. Okay, no, San Francisco Chronicle is probably just updates, and we already seen these images. Let's see if we can find any videos. So 21 minutes, Sac B. This one is just images with some verbiage. We've seen these. Okay, so this one says that was 4 hours ago. So PG&E files report with state over Mosquito Fire. I did read earlier there's somebody got arrested for starting a fire, but I think that was down south. Do not quote me on that one. Let's see. So really at this time, I'm gonna do CAL FIRE really fast. Run through it again if you're just joining us. So for CAL FIRE, we have this incident map and details where you can go, and we're looking at Mosquito Fire right now. And this is Lake Tahoe right here. And Mosquito Fire is just west of it. So as of right now, it's 13,000. So when we started the stream, I believe it was at 6, so it really jumped. So one of the things you always want to look for the containment, and some areas, if you have a large forest fire without any critical infrastructure or without any residential homes, and you see a very, very large area of acres and you see zero containment, that means that they're just letting this fire burn out and they're trying to control the areas, put in a lot of manpower within the areas that will have severe damage to life or different infrastructure they're trying to protect. Okay, so let's see, let's view details. And you can actually go into this CAL FIRE website and then you can read prior status reports. So this right here, it started on the 6th, but since this is when everything is getting spun up and the CAL FIRE is actually taken over, so for the first operational period, they have it on the 7th, and you can see. So this one is the updates as of the latest update. It was at 8:34 p.m. California Pacific time, which is not long ago. Okay, so so it's still under investigation. So we're not going to be playing a blame game here for PG&E or arsony or anything else. The fire is still under investigation, and once this is changed, yeah, I wish we had some rains in California. We definitely need them. Okay, so we have Unified Command of CAL FIRE Nevada Yuba Placer Unit. We have Tahoe National Forest. As I mentioned earlier, if you were here, we have, so basically for the National Forest, they're different because they're federal and they're different fire departments. So sometimes for the National Forest fires, CAL FIRE would not be taken over and would not be reporting it because it's strictly under National Forest. But this one, it has Unified Command. And they have Forest Hill Fire Protection District and Placer County Sheriff's Office. So we can actually go to these websites, and I like to pull the information up from here instead of anywhere else, because that way you get correct information about this. So we'll get back to the National Forest one in a minute, and we'll get back to this one at a later time. And then we're going to take a look at, I'll walk you through the air status update. There's a pretty interesting EQI map that we can look at. So as of right now, this is the size. About 1,000 structures are threatened, and they haven't reported any destroyed or damaged, or there's any, so you'll be able to see the civilian casualties, firefighter, and everything. So the situation, the Mosquito Fire showed extreme fire behavior and growth, more than quadrupling in size to over 4,000 acres. Assigned personnel continue to improve existing control line and build new control lines. Also assessed and prepared structures threatened by the fire. Fires burning in extremely difficult terrain, including steep canyons where directly attacking the fire can be difficult. The weather in the fire area will continue to be extremely hot and dry overnight until tomorrow. Combined with very low fuel moistures, fire conditions are likely to replicate today's behavior during the overnight period and into tomorrow's operational period. Operational periods are usually 12 hours, so that way you don't exhaust your personnel, and so they'll have a 12-hour rotations, or it depends on how many personnel that they have, and depends on the fire. Okay, so I wanted, let's see, evacuation zones, and we already went over that. So current evacuation warnings. So the evacuation warnings is where you might want to think about packing some belongings and see, and then in case it just becomes really fast out of hand, and because the roads will be congested with traffic, everybody's trying to leave. So okay, let's see, and this right here, this will show you their assigned resources that they have. As of right now, there are no updates, so probably they're still working it out since they just started yesterday, and CAL FIRE started yesterday for the updates. Okay, let's see what Tahoe National Forest have. Okay, so we have fire information. So INCIWeb is a really good tool for incident information reporting system that we use for open source reporting, and you can figure out the different, if you cannot get any information from CAL FIRE, you can actually get from local departments, and then they will use the incident information system to report that. So this is to orient again. Lake Tahoe is right here. This is Nevada, and it's a little bit west of that, and the Sacramento area is right here. So the capital of California, Sacramento. Let's see where we can, any new information in here. So they do have evacuation information page, and this is the image, evacuation maps. Okay, so fuels involved brush and timber as of right now, and there are no structures were damaged that we read from CAL FIRE website. Okay, so firefighting personnel continue to focus on building containment lines around the fire. So containment lines, they are trenches that you build around a fire, or they use sometimes retardant, they use water, so that way it doesn't spread into certain areas, and they'll let the other areas burn. If it doesn't have any structure. Okay, so we do have 20 engines, 11 dozers, 2 water tenders, 3 crews, 7 helicopters, air attack and fixed wing tankers supporting VLAT, very large air tanker. I love it. I love it. It's just big VLAT, very large air tanker. Okay, so the conditions are still hot, dry, anticipate an increased fire behavior, California and Interagency Incident Management Team. And let's see. Temperatures will remain over 100 degrees. Yeah, we have been having really high record temperatures, and some of the temperatures within California reached, for the day of September, the highest ever recorded in the areas. And because we have this heat dome, they call it heat dome, where it traps, basically the air goes around and just traps and pushes a lot of heat down, and due to sun and heat isn't unable to rise, so it creates a dome-like effect. Let's see if we can answer some questions in here. Okay, so my OBS chats went out, so I won't be able to pin any questions right now, but we can read them. Okay, does Cali have nonviolent? Yes, so California does have inmates that volunteer to help, as I answered that earlier. I'm not sure if they actually will be sending the inmates or anybody else out there right now. Usually they don't report this information until later on. We'll just try to see what is on the ground. Oh, thank you, Sue. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. So I'm gonna try to do this almost every night to cover some of the newest details, and if we don't have a lot of newest details about this fire. I do want to make some videos about quite a few natural disasters, and we can start with the fire and then doing the protection and the things that you can do to protect your home, your belongings, and then during the large fires like that. So I would always recommend to have a go bag if you live in a high fire danger area, or even a high earthquake area. And then we can go over in some of the videos what our go bags are, and then some of the recommendations that you should have in those go bags during the emergency response, or during emergencies. I'm sorry. Okay, so Donna, just in case you want to reiterate the information through this. Okay, let's see, Donna. Appreciate this live stream. No big. Oh, thank you, Donna. Yeah, unfortunately, not a lot of people are really covering. The news are covering it, and they'll mention a small snippet. But I want to do this and answer any questions, especially if the personnel are just extremely curious, or they have family members out there they cannot reach through internet or phones. So that way you can actually know the locations and everything where they can be. Okay. Can you let people know? Oh, okay, so thank you, Donna. There is a room at Nevada County Fairgrounds for livestock, and few camp spaces still available. Thank you so much, Donna. And she said, hurry if you're looking for a camp space. It's filling up fast. We can go over the sheltering information really fast. Let's see. Okay, where did I have this sheltering information? Will be in CAL FIRE. Always go back to CAL FIRE. They will have more information. Okay, evacuation centers. So evacuation center at the Placer County is Bell Road Baptist Church and Cool Community Church in El Dorado County as a temporary evacuation point as of right now. Okay, let's see what other questions we can answer. Okay. Yeah, we're not brushing up on anything else that's going on. We're just concentrating on making sure that we spread awareness for the different fires. Let me keep the map up right here, so that way we know what we're talking about. So Mosquito Fire, right over here. And then while I answer some of the questions, thank you, Donna and Gertie. Okay, let's see. I can cover tornadoes. I can cover tornadoes as well. And that's why we're trying to create this channel to do any type of live coverage. I was going to cover floods in Pakistan, and because it's extremely devastating and a large area that people are misplaced, I might do a small video about that just so people are aware of what is happening in Pakistan as of right now with the natural disasters. No, I'll be covering natural disasters, and I'll try to create some videos, some educational videos of what phenomena that it's causing, as in how the earthquake develop or how the tornado develops, and hurricanes and everything else as well. So there's a really good tool about. Oh, actually, I will show you the tool right now. Let me find it really fast. Okay, so there is an open source tool. If you ever wanted to donate, I just wanted to make sure that you're aware that all donations will be going towards the Ukrainian relief for humanitarian mission. And I'll be extremely transparent about that. So let's see. So it calls EOSDIS. It is provided by NASA. It's an open source tool that everyone can use. Okay. Pop the chat. I could do suggested preparedness video. Oh yeah, I can definitely do that one. That's a great suggestion. Thank you, Sue. And I can do the one with people who have pets. Oh, we can do just one stream and video. Okay, so this is an open source tool. It has satellites that are taking pictures in real life events, and you can actually see some of the events in here. For example, we'll see if the wildfires are. Oh, we have Mosquito Fire in here. So we're traveling. Don't get dizzy. Okay, so this is taken from the satellite. Once the satellite, I think it refreshes every 10 minutes, and they're able to. It does take a little bit longer to load for a clear picture, but you can see. Let's see, IncinewWeb. Oh, it took us back to IncinewWeb. So NASA started doing this amazing thing where they actually started keeping track of the different events, and we'll be using this tool for quite a bit different events that are happening. So as you can see, all of this is smoke plume, see. Okay, so let's see if we can find EQI status, air quality information, AQI. My accent is a bit, okay, airnow.gov is a really good tool to use. And we're gonna see Tahoe. No, not Idaho. Tahoe, California. So this indicates the inhalation hazards that you can take a look in the areas. Oh, I love open sources. So this is airnow.gov. It's one of the tools that I always use to figure out for the different inhalation hazards, and you can see if there's any pollutants or anything. But in red right now indicates, so this is an interactive map. So as you can tell, this is where the fire is at. Let's see, so we have Tahoe area right here, and I believe the fire around this area, and you can see that the plume is actually rising, and then it's getting into this area. So purple, let's go back in here. So purple indicates between 200 to 300, and it's highly recommended to stay indoors and use masks to go outside for the inhalation hazard. Okay. Let's see. Yes, Donna, thank you again. Please call the Placer Fairgrounds on Nevada County Fairgrounds for the farm store. And Donna will, if you can, I'll try to stream around this time tomorrow as well. And if you can come back and then give us any updated information, that would be great. Okay, so this air now, I absolutely love it because you can actually tell. Oh, I believe this is another fire right here in Washington. You can actually tell without even looking at the maps where the fires are located, but obviously this is a high inhalation hazard zones and highly recommended to use respirators. Okay, so it hasn't been updated into the Great Basin yet. I love this because you can do forecast. So if the fire keeps spreading, so this area, let's see, so as you can tell, this is a forecast for tomorrow, let's say. And these are the stations. These right here are the stations to read the air in real time. So forecast for tomorrow, the inhalation hazard will be a very large area around Tahoe. And I'm going into Carson City and Nevada, which is Tolebee National Forest. So if you're in that area, I highly recommend to use respirators or at least cover your airways. So let's see, explore fires. Okay, so fire and smoke map. So as of right now, we took a look at the just air quality, but once the map initializes, it's going to be able to give us a better reading. Okay. Oh wow. This is interesting. Let's see. So, am I traveling in the wrong direction? Where's California? There it is. Okay. So, fire and smoke map. As you can tell, this is the smoke plume modeling in gray is located. Let's see if we can take the filters off. So let's take the sensors off and we'll do large and then satellite detection. So this is the fires. So satellite detection, it shows the hotspots. So these are right here are very hotspots for the fire, as you can see. And this is the plume modeling for the smoke in a different wind direction. So as you can tell, the smoke from that fire is already heading all the way to St. Louis Obispo. And this is the down south fire that is burning this one right here, down south. So this one's getting out to the ocean. Sometimes when the wind direction changes and if the fire, so this is the fire that we're talking about by Tahoe area. If the wind direction changes, so they can actually go in towards the Bay Area as well. So because we had that happen already, where the Bay Area air quality was so terrible that people were starting developing cough, and especially when you respond to fires. Every time when I used to come back from fires, my voice was always, it was hard to return. Okay, so if you look closer, thank you, Laura. Thank you. Okay, so if you look closer, you can tell where the hotspots are at, and these are tracked in real time through the satellites, and you can see exactly. We can actually do. This is live. Okay, so yep. Local conditions. Okay, so yeah, this is live right now. Let's see, we can utilize colors. Okay, you can do aerial, as in Google Maps. You can actually take a look at the different terrain. Let's see, you can do the streets, and you can see where the streets are at. Actually, let's take this smoke plume model off. So it's kind of in a way a topo map. Let's do aerial. So those little dots are the hotspots where the active fire is burning. And as you can tell, okay, so this is the county line right here. As you can see, this is Placer and this is El Dorado. If I'm saying Placer wrong, please do forgive me. Accent sometimes gets in the way. Okay, let me see some activity in here really fast. Oops, that's not where we want it. So we'll go back to this. Okay, someone just messaged me. Okay, so Placer County Food Bank is accepting donations for people, and they say water is needed, bottled water, hand sanitizer. Thank you, Donna. Alright, I want to check on some status here really fast. Oh well. So only whoever's watching right now, 17 people. Thank you so much. And I do appreciate a little traffic. We're not gonna go over a little bit longer. Let's see what we have already. So we're at 120 right now. Okay. Alright, so we'll be using air now for reporting those kind of incidents, especially with fires. Air now is not going to, well, if there's, let's say if there's a building collapse, it will catch for the air quality around the area, but with the building collapse, usually the dust settles fairly fast, and the air quality is going to be good with that. But this is a good tool that we use for the fires only. And as you can tell, these are the hotspots, and oh, this is a new one. So I wonder, when they were talking about jumping to another county, so all of this was at Placer County, and this is where it jumped right here at El Dorado. See, so far there's no structures around the area, but as you can tell, the forest hill right here, this is where they're worrying about, because there are some residential homes, and I'm sure the firefighters are holding the line right over here and digging trenches and everything, so to protect this town. Let's see what else we have. Okay, so there's no other homes around that area. Okay, so we have Georgetown right here. So Forest Hill is the one that we'll be keeping an eye on. Okay, so this already. And this says Auburn right here. And once I get everything figured out, it's gonna take a little bit of time. I might take some callers at the later time, not today, not in this stream, but I will take some callers as well. And if the callers will be talking only about natural disasters and the current events that we're covering at the moment, and nothing else. Okay, so let's see. Firefighters also in need. She said there are over 2,000 personnel on this fire. I will see what I can do tomorrow. I think Safeway will donate. I will go there before work in the morning. Thank you, Donna. You're doing absolutely wonderful things. Keep everybody updated, and you're so welcome. I'll keep this video up, and so people are interested in taking a look. And please do comment if you have any other information. Do comment on this video. I will try to filter out a lot of negative comments that I've been receiving on the other videos. I'll filter them out to keep it more relevant. Okay, so let's see what else I can show you. Okay, so this right here is open source tool. As you can see in real life where the smoke is, and there are other, so we can cover typhoons, tropical storms. There's also man-made disasters that can happen. Let's see. Okay, so in here you can do a recap as well, the time recap. So we can later we can figure out the layers together right here, and you can do time recap as how fast and how far the fire grew. So the orange dots are the hot spots that we looked at earlier. So the hot spots are these hot spots right here. Okay, so mods, you've been absolutely wonderful. And let's see if I have any other questions that I haven't covered. I think we're gonna be done with this stream. Because there's nothing else that I can really cover at this time. Because it is next. I'll keep an update and see if I can throw something into the community tomorrow morning. Usually shift change during these type of things around 7. It depends on what they're going to set up. I'll check tomorrow morning for any type of updates, and I'll throw it into the community tab, and we'll try to do the stream like that tomorrow as well. I would say around 8 or 8:30. That's when they'll be doing their briefs, and that way we can get the latest information and we can cover this fire. And thank you so much. You've been absolutely wonderful, and this was a good first time experience. And I'll upload this video later. I need to come up with a good closing line. Ooh, no. Okay. All right. Good night, everyone.